So good afternoon and morning and good evening and good day and happy Friday. I'm here with a fabulous, the one and only Ira Bowman. So it's good morning to you, sir. How are you?
Yes, it's good morning. Where are you living that it's nighttime already? Oh my gosh.
Halfway around the world.
I just got up. Pardon me as I look over here for a second. I'm just trying to jump on the live because I try to engage in comments while I'm on a show.
Yeah. I tend to do it on my phone, and I did it with Randy the other day. I turned it on as they're talking, and of course I had the volume on my phone, so it was a very smooth transition.
That's always the rub, right? It's like, okay, well, you got to get it, and you got to hit the play button, but then you got to turn the sound off right away.
Yeah, but I've learned. Open up your Amazon Music, turn down your volume, don't have to press play. You've got your volume down and off you go. Little trick. Anyway, today's not about apps and how we manage our lives. Today's all about you and your
But it could be because I do all that crap really.
So
I'm sad. Okay, so I mean, seriously, this is my life, right? So one of my friends wrote a book called Zero to Podcast, and it's literally, this is not a product endorsement or anything. I haven't read the book yet, but I'm sitting here. It's on my agenda to read because I do this stuff. I never sought out to be a podcast guy, but here I am living the dream.
Yeah. Quick hello. We've got Nash, Candy. People jumping in from
Candy lives in Luxembourg.
Indeed.
I don't know why I say it that way, but I do every time I see Candy, and it's our thing. So there you go. Hi, Candy. Good morning. She wants me to. Did you see Joe Stepke's? Oh, you did because you commented on it. So he's got. There's a strong girl lifting another girl.
Yeah.
And he said, "Here's some of my friends." Blah blah blah. And I'm like, Joe, does that make me the one on the top or the bottom? Because it's about lifting you up.
Yeah. Well, actually,
and then he said, you're not going to recreate it either. But Candy goes, Ira, I fully expect this weekend that you will get one of your kids and do that. And I'm like, you know what? That actually would be kind of fun. So
you can. It's actually not that hard.
I lift my kids up all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and my 100-pound kids, I don't know what that equates to in non-American, but they're 100 pounds. So it's like, was it a stone and a half or something? I have no idea. Anyways, I lift them up and they go, Dad, you can still lift us. That's awesome. I'm like, well, it's only half of my weight, so I should be able to lift you.
No excuses.
Look for silly videos from Ira on the weekends.
Yeah, they'll be on your Instagram most likely.
Instagram, for sure.
Yeah. So other than all this, this crap that you do, what obviously is offered at Bowman Digital Media, because you do a hell of a lot of stuff.
I do. Thank you. Okay, so I actually was talking about this yesterday with Rob House. It's block scheduling. What does that mean? So a lot of you guys will do what I used to do, which are these checklists. Have a to-do list, and some people write stuff on it just so they can mark it off, which is funny. But anyways, you can get buried in those lists. So as I started to evolve my time management skills. I went from just a basic checklist. I started to write the list and then reorganize it, most priority on the top and work my way down. And that way, if I didn't finish the list, it was okay because I got the most important thing done. But sometimes the most important thing, like, okay, so I didn't just get out of bed, right? So sometimes the most important thing isn't available to right away because it's at a different time. Like you have an appointment. We're on at 9 a.m. here in the Pacific, which is where I live in LA. So I couldn't do that right away, even if this was the most important thing, which obviously it is. So it's the most important thing I got going on right now today. But, I couldn't start that at 7 o'clock in the morning, right? So then when I started to realize is like, that list is good, but it wasn't as efficient as I wanted it to be. Mm-hmm. So, and have you ever sat down? Well, you're from the UK, so you probably don't sit down to watch like a NFL football game or an NBA game, but you might sit down to watch like a soccer match, which you guys mistakenly call football. But anyways, You might do something like that. I'm gonna start a war. If you don't
I'll be
know, guys,
across the way.
if you've never met Ira Bowman before, sit down and get some popcorn because I like to start stuff. I'm a sarcasm freak. I love it. Okay, so here we go. And I'm nothing I say it's serious. I'm just joking, tongue in cheek. Okay. So, but I love sports. So I would sit down sometimes to watch a game, and I would have this guilt, like I should be doing something else. Like, you and I are friends, so we've talked about personal time, and we've got to, and everybody's like, Ira, do you ever not work? And it's like, yeah, I take time. So this is how I do it. And I learned this trick from budgeting, actually, finance.
Mm-hmm.
If you make a budget, some people feel restricted by the budget, but it's actually free because now you can afford to do that thing. It's in the budget. So you want to go to the movies, you want to take your wife to dinner, you want to go on vacation, you want to, buy a new drone. I'm looking at a drone that's $1,300. So can I afford the drone? Well, it's in my budget, so yes, I can. I actually just talked to my bookkeeper yesterday, and he said, yes, you can do this. And I'm like, sweet.
You're like,
yeah, we can talk about the drone in a second if you like, because it's the coolest thing ever. But anyways, so time management, what I would do is I make these time blocks. Okay, so I've got something for every one of my customers has a time block. I've got marketing activities for myself. I've got time to read my books. I've got time to sleep, as you know. I have to schedule that sometimes. So I schedule in my sleep, lunch. I hate to admit this, but before I started doing this, there was lots of days I didn't eat until dinner time. And that's not good.
No.
Nutritionist, she can tell you all about it. But you know what I mean? So I wasn't taking care of myself. And that wasn't good. So the time block, what it does is allows me to get more done. And like I have time to date my wife. I have time to spend time with my kids. I have time to go on those walks that I think we're going to talk about. All those things. Like I can fit it in without feeling the guilt, and I get way more done. So yeah, vacation. Nick is trying to get everybody to Arizona in May, and I think I might just be able to rock that bad boy too. In full disclosure, for me, it's like it's not that far away. Like honestly, it's just
in the car. I'm making the trip. Come on.
Yeah, if you can make it from London, I can make it from LA. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
Although, do you know Rosalind Edwards? Have you met her yet?
No.
She is out here near me. She's in California. First of all, if you guys don't know Rosalind Edwards, I'll tag her in the comments. She's awesome. She's in Pahrump right now, which is right outside of Vegas, if you guys aren't familiar with Pahrump. But that's where she is at the moment. However, I was teasing her because Vegas is where I grew up, right? I'm like, oh, you're my hometown. She's like, the flight was $55. I'm like, $55 round trip airfare from LA to Vegas right now, $55. And I'm like, wow, I got to do that. She's like, we should do win-win networking, which I do on Tuesdays. We should do that from Vegas. And I'm like, that's a deal. We will definitely do that. Yeah. Because for $55, I mean, I could go out there. I've got lots of friends. We can podcast live from anybody's house. And
there you go. On the go.
I'm going to tag her in. If you guys have not met her, she works for a company called Live Certain, but she's just a super nice person. She's active. You know what I mean? You're always looking for people that are going to support you and engage. You know what I mean? Like Nick Dorsey, another one of her friends, Kelly Robinson. There's these people that we all know and love. She's another one of those. You know what I mean? Good people.
Well, we've also got the fantastic Claire, who I'm at Clubhouse with next week. She's listening. And of course, Paula is here.
Paula is my maple syrup. Oh my goodness. This is like, if I had to identify, and I did one day, somebody wrote a post. I think it was Joe Stuckey. He wrote a post, and it was like, highlight a friend. At least this is the way I read it. I think I misread it. But highlight a friend from the opposite gender. And I listed Paula. Because Paula is like, look, if I had to name one person who supported me more than anybody else on LinkedIn over my journey, it's Paula. Paula Goodman and I are like, she's my sister. I'm just going to put it that way. Anyways, I call her maple syrup. She calls me apple pie. I'm going to tell you, if you need to brighten your day, just visit Paula Goodman's.
She's just gone apple pie.
Not American Pie. That's a movie. I don't. This one time in band camp. No, let's not go there.
Enough said.
Yeah, there was a flute. That's all I'm gonna say. And there was apple pie in that movie, which is gross.
There was. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's not go there either. But apple pie.
And we got a beautiful Anne from another UK.
Anne is my buddy. Anne I've known for a long time too. I love Anne.
She's a queen. Absolute queen.
Anybody who doesn't like Anne, there's a problem. They need to look in the mirror.
Yeah.
That with Anne.
Yeah. But as you can see, it's all the power of networking. So
yeah, this is what, it's funny because I was showing you, you don't want me to have, but Jason Ricks, my buddy, he sent me these and I was in the green room teasing them to you. And you're like, how many push-ups did you do to earn those? And I said, honestly, none. And that didn't shock you. So he's right with the world. But
yeah, I do know you're happening.
To the people out there, well, I mean, you're all on social media, so you get it, right? But there's a lot of people in my life who thought, you can't have real friends on social media. It's all fake. I'm like, maybe the way you do it, but not the way I do it. And that's, the Project Help You Grow is the thing that launched all that for me. But I have lots of friends. I think I have way more friends on social media than I do in real life for the simple fact that it's easier to see people. You know what I mean? When you get busy, it's hard for me to take an hour, 2 hours to go hang out with friends. But if you're swimming where I am, which is online, it's like I talk to you almost every day online.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We've made our blush though.
I see you somewhere. Don't steal
no,
my
we
line.
like to make people feel special. That's what this is all about.
No, but I'm telling you, I haven't spoken any hyperboles yet. Like I legitimately think all those things about everybody I just said.
That's awesome.
That's how I really feel, Anne. I'm not just trying to pump you up because you're on the show. Although I'm thankful that you're here. I'm pretty sure Liz is too.
I'm very
so let me ask you a question. That post yesterday, it seemed like it was doing pretty good. You had that picture of me and your life kicks you in the teeth sometimes and blah, 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 right? That post seemed like it did pretty good. Was that a good post for you or is that a normal post?
I've got no idea. I can't remember what the
post was. You put a picture of me and you were teasing the show.
Oh, the one of that one. Oh, that the preview they did about average for the shows.
Okay. I was curious.
So,
I mean,
yeah, obviously, about LinkedIn. Obviously, you'll put one post up and it will perform, and it will be some video of like I did a dog in its sleeping dressing gown, and people like it, or the fat animals, and that went viral. But then you have posts. It's actually, I think it came from you. The fact pre-posting early and scheduling things.
Yeah.
It actually, you get much more engagement, much more views on the sessions, and of course, it's tidbits like that of information that you give away, which is valuable.
It's
valuable.
Come on,
absolutely priceless.
Well, I don't know about that, but it's good stuff for sure. And that's why I try to do that. People always ask me, well, Ira, why do you give so much stuff away? I'm like, look, there's a couple of reasons, honestly. If you don't provide value, if you're just trying to pitch, people are going to tune you out. Like that's pretty straightforward. But also, I think that it's better to be a giver than a taker. And I lived both sides of the coin. In my early days, I was extremely self-centered, extremely selfish. It was all about Ira, honestly. I had an epiphany one day, it was about a decade ago, that I didn't want to die being a selfish jerk. So from that moment to this moment, and hopefully every moment that I have left, I would rather put out more and give more than I take. And so hopefully by the end of my story, when people look back at my life, that's the legacy that I'll be remembered for was, hey, that was a guy that was selfless. And that's what I'm going for. But the value that I'm throwing out there for free, which is, look, I don't want to brag, but I think it's pretty good. I study a lot of stuff and I give away information that people charge lots and lots of money for. And I know because sometimes they offer to sell me that information for the money that they charge. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. And you're
That's
like,
great.
no, thank you. I could
That's great. That's a pretty good. That's a pretty good chunk of money I'm giving up for free, I guess. But I mean, that's what it is. And the networking connections and stuff that I do, like I do that win-win Tuesday networking.
Yeah.
That's free. Nobody pays for that. You can come in and meet people from all around the world, from every type of industry. And
I've recommended that to people.
yeah, I'm like, I don't understand why more people don't come on, honestly, because if you ever look at these mastermind groups that people charge thousands of dollars for, it's basically what they're doing. They're connecting you with other people. And I do it for free.
Well,
there you go.
So other than knowing about your snacks, I obviously know you obviously your family.
I love snacks. Wait, I didn't even.
Oh, we're gonna otherwise you might.
I told you, I always have this next to me. Look, and this is a generic brand, y'all. So the other thing that you have to know about Ira Bowman is I'm not really, and you and I were talking about this a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not really a brand name guy. Like, brands don't impress me. So I don't care if it says Nike or Adidas or whatever. You know what I mean? And to me, it's either a good quality or it's not. So these are from Stater Brothers, which is just a local store chain here. And they're peanut butter filled pretzels. Protein.
I'm gonna part the snacks because I might have tears in a moment with that if you eat that.
I'm gonna make you cry. Oh, I'm sorry. But they're there. Now look, you notice it's full.
Yeah. I'm going to keep my eye on it over the weekend.
But I didn't say how long it's been sitting next to me, but actually this has been here. I want to say this has been here for like a month. So look at that. What
you should do is the start of every month, draw the line where it is.
Okay, I'll do that. And then I'll send you a snapshot.
Good.
Yeah. Now, how many months should this last me?
That should last you quite a while.
Obviously, you don't know me very well, but I wanted to know, like a normal person, how long would this take to eat? Because this, honestly, would probably last me like 6 months.
I was going to say, a friend of mine who's addicted to peanut butter, probably 24 hours.
Well, in full disclosure, both snacks that I have access to at the moment are peanut butter filled. I don't know if that's a coincidence, but it is what it is. Okay.
Well, let's get on to the exercise. Because I know you go out walking and you take one of your many kids or a couple of them out with you. So
I have different track stuff going depending on who's with me. For those of you who don't know, I have 8 kids. Yeah, I said 8, not 7, not 9, 8. Strive for 9.
Football team.
My wife says 8 is enough, so there you go. Okay, so here's the deal. So we go walk. The one that likes it the most actually can't do it right now. She's got some chest issues going on. It's just like, we took her to the doctor. The doctor says it's growing pains, but I don't know about that. But anyways, when she exercises, the aerobic stuff tends to exasperate it. So I told her, hey, until that's done, I don't want to mess with it because just in case it is a heart issue.
Yeah.
Something, right? So if you haven't seen these pictures on Instagram,
check them out.
Because the shots are pretty breathtaking, because what happens is I live on the edge of hills, right? California is all about hills and mountains. I mean, really, that's what it is. You guys know us for coasts and palm trees, but really the story of California is more about these rolling hills and grass covered hills with oak trees all over the place. That's really more the story of California hills, the scenery. So, and then we have the Sierra Nevada mountains, which are like super high, but I don't live on those. I live on these hills. So outside my house, 1 block up, so there's one more block of houses, then it's these hills that you see in the pictures. I've got to go 2.5 miles from my door to get to the peak, or what we call the summit of the hill. And from there, I can see behind the hill from my house is a reservoir. It's a large body of water.
So you're lucky.
Yeah, breathtaking. I can't see it from my house. I have to go up the hill 2.5 miles. But once I get up there, it's amazing. Now, the first half mile is really the hardest. It's like beginner rock climbing. It's not really rock climbing, but it's like beginner rock climbing. Okay, so you got to do that. And once you get up that, the other 2 miles relatively easy. Just you got to do the incline, of course. But I was doing that 3 times a week. Now I haven't been doing it as much lately because Well, there was the weather, and then we were gone. So now we're back. So now we're going to start doing it again. So more pictures to come. I actually want to take my drone up there, not the new one I was talking about, although I'll take that one too.
Yeah.
But the one that I have now, I want to take that one. That one's more designed for like stills. So that one, the one that I got now is, you put it up in the air, it does waypoints, autofocus on a target, like target lock, following around, but it's not really for speed. It's for, longer aerial shots.
Yeah.
The one that I'm looking at getting is a jet, basically. You put on the glasses, the virtual reality glasses, and you fly it with a stick, and it goes
That was fun.
It goes 83 miles an hour, which again, I apologize, I don't know what that converts to in the metric system, but
I talk a mile per hour. That's probably as fast as my car goes, so we're pretty fast.
Well, yeah. So the speed limit in the United States, for the most part, is somewhere between 65 and 80 miles an hour, right? So this is faster than you would drive your car on the freeway, on a regular freeway in the United States, not the Autobahn, but in the United States. So it's designed to follow like watercraft or people on hang gliders and stuff like that. So it's designed for speed. And,
nice.
Anyways, it's kind of a niche deal that, if you don't know my business, Bowman Digital Media, we do videography and photography work. And so it's just, it's a niche thing. But if I want to go to like motorcycle races or follow somebody on their Harley as they drive down the freeway, I can do that. And anyways, imagine the videos I can make with some people on motorcycles, going around a corner, something.
But the benefit is the drones are an excuse to stay fit. You have to go out and use them. So
that's right. Yeah, it's where I got the idea from on these hikes. It's like, wow, it would be cool to have a drone up here so I could show people from, just go up a little bit higher, because you still have some obstructions when you're on the hill because you're not like 100 feet in the air. But imagine going up a half a mile or even a mile. My drone will go up. I can send it up 6,000 meters. So it'll go up a long ways, and I can still get the video and record it on my phone. So that's the one I have now. Could you imagine being up that high? It actually can give you motion sickness if you get up that high.
Yeah. Whoa. But when you're looking at something like that, you're like, oh, wow, that's fun.
Well, if you've ever watched like somebody parachute from a plane, like a skydiver jump out of the plane, and then when they have the GoPros on and you look down, you see it. It's not so bad after the initial out the plane. It kind of like stabilizes. You know what I mean? So the drones, what we do when we're doing the editing of the film, we take the film, we edit that rough stuff out so that it's just smooth. And anyways, I think it's breathtaking.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's obviously pandemic. Let's go back to where we all started with the post I shared, because you at the start of the pandemic lost your job, which was why Bowman Digital Media was born. How is obviously you've now realized your dream of building your own business. How has it affected your life in terms of like
nightmares? Nightmares are dreams too, right? So,
yeah. Yeah, but you need a bit both. You've realized your dream. How is that? A family of 8 kids, a fabulous wife who does a show with you now, and keeping active and staying healthy. How has your health and fitness been affected along this journey?
Well, in some ways it's better. In some ways it's worse. So my career in print, for the most part, I wasn't sitting behind a desk. When I was sitting, I was actually driving a car. So I was out on my feet, walking around a lot, and then lifting. People don't think about the weight of print supplies, but they're heavy, right? So I didn't do, like, when I say print business, a lot of people are thinking like the little printer on the side of their desk, or maybe the copy machine, in the hallway. Like, no, what I want you to picture in your mind is a factory where they build things. That's the kind of printing that I was doing. So high volume, large, everything you can think of. I helped wrap the sides of buildings in Las Vegas. Okay. I helped do, like, think about construction sites where they go around for a whole city block, and they've got the fence and they've got the banner on the side of the fence that covers the whole thing. They call that privacy mesh. I used to print that, so I'm not talking about little pieces of paper or envelopes, although I did do some of that in offset printing and direct mail. I did do some of that, but for the most part, I didn't do that. I was in the reprographics business. So we're doing, you can think about like architectural plans. People might know them as blueprints, although they're not really blueprints anymore, but that stuff. Those rolls of paper are 52 pounds. So you get a 36-inch roll by 500 feet. And I apologize if people don't understand the size conversions, but I only know the English. That's funny to call it English. But I only know the American standards. I don't know the metric system. All right. Yeah, we left the English, but we kept the English. All right. Why didn't we call it American? I don't know. But whatever. We're English. Darn it. We're just independent. Anyways, we're friends. Let's be friends. So, anyways, I was getting my exercise when I worked, to answer the question. But then when COVID started, we all moved inside, and I was sitting here on Zoom calls all day. You know what I mean? Not getting any exercise. So then with Bowman Digital Media, I had the freedom to make my own schedule. Of course, as long as I was serving the needs of my customers.
Yeah.
So that block schedule we were talking about, remember that?
Yeah.
I started to block in exercise. 2-hour blocks for exercise.
Woo! How often?
3 or 4 times a week.
Ooh.
Yeah. So serious exercise. Out in the hills, just walking around. Like not running, not, I'm not trying to be an athlete or anything like that. I'm just trying to get off my butt and burn off some of this flab. Wait, I'm sorry.
But you don't, as long as you're out walking and you got your heart rate up, having a condition.
Having a good time. Yeah. All about the exercise, the views. Obviously I take my camera sometimes, and so it's so funny. I go up there one time by myself, going to do a photo shoot. Now,
that sounds a bit ominous.
Professional photographer here, shooting myself. I forgot my tripod. Yeah. So when I say doing a professional photo shoot, I'm not talking about using my handy dandy iPhone 11 Pro, right? I mean, it takes good photos, but it's not what I was talking about. I was taking my Canon EOS 90D, which is an amazing camera. So I was taking that, and I have a remote. Those actually you can buy those for a few bucks. It's not a big deal. If you have a good camera and you don't have a remote, you can buy. I've got like 3 of them sitting right here.
I've got a Bluetooth on a tripod.
Yeah, you can buy these remotes for a few dollars, and they all work with all the cameras. Like, you know what I mean? So all you have to do, if you don't know, go into your camera settings and see if it has a timer mode. If it has a timer mode, the remote will work. So anyways, you can go pick one. So I had all that ready. I have camera bags. I have like luggage that I use for my camera equipment. But I took the stuff out and I put it in a backpack. Remember those old gym sports, like when we were in high school? I still have one.
I work in fitness. I still have my backpack to go around London. Put it on.
There you go. Yeah, so I threw on the backpack and out the door. 2.5 miles later, I realized I didn't have the tripod. I was like, oh. So I did take some selfie photos with the Canon, but it was like, it's not the same. So I'll do that again. But I typically I have a camel pack.
Yeah.
Water in the backpack.
Yeah.
But mine doesn't have like pockets and stuff. Some of them now, the one I got from my daughter, for example.
My backpack has holes in, so you can actually have a cable coming out, or you could put one in your bag and have it tubed out of your backpack.
There you go. Yeah. I might just have to poke a hole in one of mine. I'm not afraid to MacGyver. I'm not afraid to MacGyver anything. Like I will MacGyver it. So to answer your question, how is my health? I think that I'm happier. So mentally better. Physically, like I don't feel like I look much different. I'm just gonna be honest. Like I didn't lose 30 pounds. I can't have one of those fancy before and after photos, but the snacks don't.
Yeah. Too much peanut butter.
Too much peanut butter. Yeah, no, you know what it is, really? I never met a carbohydrate that I didn't love. You know, I'm a carbohydrate freak. So some people freak out on sugar, like they just can't stop eating candy. I actually don't do candy very much. I don't even put sugar in my coffee. Like I just drink it straight. It's just black coffee.
I drink straight black. Yep.
Yeah, but the breads and the pastas, forget about it.
That's why you and Joe get on. He's got an Italian wife, you know, or Nick. There you go.
Joe, okay, and Jason Ricks also. Jason Ricks was on the show with Joe and I the last couple weeks on Saturday, and he called me fluffy.
Well, I'm going to ask you a good question. Obviously, you're outgoing, you're confident, you're bubbly. You know, you've obviously got self-confidence. How important do you think that is within your business?
Self-confidence is important in anything. And I tell people, if you don't like yourself, and for those who are not confident, I actually would challenge you to say it's probably more that you don't like yourself than you don't have self-worth. But what I would say is I was there. I can relate. I was there 10 years ago. Remember I told you I had an epiphany? When I say that, and I don't want to necessarily get into it because we could talk the whole show about that. It's a long drawn out story, but the bottom line is I did not like myself. I didn't think other people should like me either. So what did I do? I started to work on myself to make that better. And then the confidence grew because now I liked myself better. Like I still don't, you're never going to arrive. You know what I mean? Like there's always in the Bible world, we call it sanctification process. We're trying to improve. Okay. So you're working on yourself. Fitness is a part of it. Of course it is. Like you only get one body. Take care of it. You know what I mean? You only get one mind. Take care of it. You know, so these things are important. If you like yourself, if you work on liking yourself, if you don't have confidence, then you will grow more confident as you work on your health, as you work on whatever it is. Like if you're tired of lying all the time, then stop it. Right? We're adults. Stop it. I didn't like that. I was a liar. I'll be the first to admit it. I used to lie all the time through my teeth. I was good at it. I could tell you a lie and you would believe it. But that didn't make it right. And I knew I was lying. And I didn't like that. So I stopped it. Now I tell the truth. Even when it's awkward, I still tell the truth. And people either like that about me or they don't like me. And that's fine either way, because I would rather you not like me for who I am than have you like me for who I'm not.
Yeah.
Okay. So think about that. So confidence, yeah, I think confidence comes with liking you.
I was going to say, do you think that's helped by having that awesome support network behind you? Like beautiful Alice, the kids, friends.
So Alice is Alicia, but
sorry.
That's okay. I'm going to call her Alice. I actually call her Alice sometimes anyways, so I'm going to call her Alice.
Well, so that's where I've got it from. I'm going to blame you on that one.
That's fine. She will too. That's all good. So Alice, okay. 10 years ago, Alicia and I were on the verge of divorce. Like, honestly, because she didn't like me either. And again, I don't blame her. I didn't like myself. So when I made the change, we were like thinking we're getting divorced. And I had come to terms with that. I was like, okay, this is what I deserve. Not blaming her is what I deserve. She didn't leave me. She stayed with me. That, when you talk about support, there's this term expression, mercy, right? Like mercy is when you deserve punishment, but you don't get it. That's where I was at. I deserved punishment, but I didn't get it. She gave me mercy. And that showed me, because I hurt her probably more than anybody else, because she's my wife. And we had been married 10 years at that point. You know what I mean? So that foundationally, yeah, that gave me a confidence, that gave me hope that it could be better. And I think people need that. I think this is why, you know, it sounds cliche, and certainly people say it a lot, this expression, you know, be kind to people. You never know what battle they're struggling with. Like, that's a real thing. Every one of us faces challenges in our day. Every one of us has things about us that we honestly don't like. And even 10 years later, working on myself, trying to give it, I still have things I don't like. I don't like the fat belly. It's just, I
The
don't.
snacks.
Right?
Let's work on this.
Yeah.
But if you didn't like
I'm working on it. I'm working on it one bite at a time. But it's like everything else. You could go a long time and do good, and then have that one, like, you lost it moment and you binge. But then here's what I've learned. You can't let your failures dictate your future. So you have to go, okay, I made that mistake. I can't erase it. We don't have time machines. But now I'm going to try and learn from that. Maybe I don't keep the snacks within arm's reach. Now I do, because I just grabbed 2 of them without moving. So, but maybe that's the lesson for me to learn. And you're like, yeah, you see that, Ira? Or maybe you don't buy them at the store. But hey.
But do you want to know my way of controlling my snacks? Because I can comfort eat. This is my thing. So, like the post I shared today, my weight went up years ago because I used to eat. I love food, And so what I do is, like, for example, I will buy chocolate covered raisins, and I will pour a few into a little tub that I've got, and I can have that in one lot. So I sort of don't stop myself having it. I just control how much I do have.
Yeah. No, and that's okay. So I eat less than I used to, which is good. Like, just across the board. I used to be the guy that would eat seconds and thirds every single time. Like, I prided myself on how much I could eat. Like, it was a contest and I was going to win. Literally. Very competitive. So I grew up, I know most of you don't know me, but I grew up an athlete, right? Like, I was competitive. I was wrestling from like 2 years old on. So wrestling was my main thing. Then I did cross country running. I did track in high school. And then I played basketball every day at lunch through high school. So I was an athletic guy, and I ate like an athlete, like calories. But as I got older, I kept eating like that, but I didn't keep exercising like that. So the 3% body fat that I was at when I was in peak shape, and when I would take my shirt off, people thought I was a bodybuilder, right? Now I take my shirt off and people like, put that shirt back on.
Yeah, you're eating a bodybuilder, yeah.
Right, and I could eat, get in my belly. You know what I mean? I could definitely do that. But my life is all about movie quotes. I gotta figure that out too. I like to watch movies. I don't watch TV. My wife and kids were up in the Bay Area for 10 days while I was down here because of our band situation. I didn't turn on the TV at all, not one single time. I don't watch TV, but I do eat. So anyways, I've started to eat less. So most of the time, I don't take seconds anymore. Sometimes I do. It depends. I probably still eat too much, honestly, but I eat a lot less. And so having the consumption rate go down has helped. And then I try not to eat as much bread. I'm still eating the carbs, but I'm not eating the bread as much. So like the pastas and stuff. Like, when you have a family of 10 people, groceries are expensive. I spend as much on groceries probably as most of you spend on your mortgage payment or your rent. And that's just a fact. I mean, I wish it wasn't true, but sadly it is. So, that grocery budget is over 4 figures. You know what I mean? So it's expensive, but it is what it is. So my wife, Alice, when she shops, right, she's trying to save us money. So again, with the non-name brands, the generics on almost everything, or the coupons, or the club card stuff, whatever, to try and save us money. But carbs are cheaper than obviously meat.
Yeah.
So we eat a lot of carbs because it fills us up, but it's not obviously what's healthy for us. But we do eat vegetables every day, which is good. And we don't add salt to anything. So there's some health wise, what we eat, we know we could do better if money was no object, but part of it is our situation.
Yeah. Family of 10. So would you say your wife has been the greatest influence on your life, or is there somebody else who's been really influential?
I mean, yeah, she's an influence in my life, but most of it is for motivation. So when someone shows you mercy, undeserved grace, I think grace is a little bit different thing, but when someone's kind to you like that, unexpected, because the world is usually not like that, right? The world is usually
Yeah.
a selfish place and a vindictive place and an eye for an eye place, right? So that's what you expect, and that's what I deserved. So when someone does that for you, yeah, you want to pay them back in kind. How do you do that when if they've never committed, what am I trying to say, something against you, like they don't need that type of mercy. Let me say it that way. They haven't done anything to require you to forgive them like that, right? So how do you show them that you appreciate it? Well, first of all, you be nice, right?
Yeah,
But
that would
also,
be good.
I want to give her things. You know what I mean? Like I want to earn things for her so that I can show her, like, you know what? I love you. I don't like to say it. I like to show it. His words are so cheap. That's like with the network. It comes back down to everything. People see me.
And if you keep being the best person that you promised to be 10 years ago and improving and working on it, then of course you're keeping your promise. And that would be, I'd say, the biggest promise to break for her.
Well, and elevating everything, because there's a desire to be better, but there's also a desire to make her situation better. You know what I mean? Like when we started out, we lived in a tiny little apartment house. It was a rental home. I called it the fishbowl because there was windows on every side and people could see in like 360 degrees, which I hate because I'm a very private person. I know this is going to shock most of you, but I'm actually an introvert. So I like to be alone. I like to hunker down and that's how I recharge my batteries. So I don't like to be seen, especially when I'm in my off time.
I'm with that one.
Yeah, which is funny because I'm on video a lot, so people think I'm an extrovert. Like, I've had to learn how to do this. This is not natural for me. So, anyways, I'm good at it. Doesn't mean this is what I wouldn't do this if I didn't need to do this. Let me just put it that way. Okay, so for her, for the world, for everybody, I'm trying to be better. I don't have a person that I look to as like a mentor. I don't have a person that I look to and go, all I really want them to do is tell me they're proud of me. Because I've had people like that in my past. And I'm going to tell you that's an unhealthy thing, right? To give somebody that kind of power over you is not healthy. At least that's my opinion of it. So I've taken that away from people. Like you can't affect me that greatly by withholding your approval or the recognition that I'm doing a good job. I don't need a pat on the back from anybody. Maybe put it that way, right? But I have a lot of people that I respect and admire, and I try to emulate some of what they do. But I will tell you that I'm a mold breaker. Like they don't make people like me. It's hard for people to understand who I am because they go, "Oh, you're a photographer," and then they try to put me in the photographer box. But I'm way more than just a photographer. In fact, in some ways, I'm not even as good as most photographers that you would put in that box too. So there's that. Like I'm more of like a Swiss Army knife.
The all-rounder product that fits all of everything you need.
Right. So that's where I fit. Like if you're trying to categorize me, think of me like a Swiss Army knife. I'm good at a lot of things. I'm not necessarily the best at any of them. Maybe sarcasm, but that's about it. Right. But for my business, who I help, it fits perfect because so what I do, in case you guys don't know, I do like social media management and I do marketing for small business owners, entrepreneurs, small businesses. They don't they don't necessarily know how to make videos. They don't necessarily know how to create an audience. They don't know how to improve their SEO. They don't know how to manage their Google ads. They don't know how to write a blog, all these things. And they don't necessarily want to, but they know they need it. Well, they can hire somebody like me. I'm like a fractional marketing department, and I help them with all of it. Now, again, as they grow, they might decide to hire a chief of marketing, and now they don't need me. Okay, that happens. But I'm great for those people that are going from bootstrapping to like, okay, I'm going to take this thing for real now, and we're gonna rent an office or we're gonna build a building. I mean, probably not build a building, but we're gonna rent some office space. Typically, I help people that are in the service industry, like fitness coaches and chefs, accountants, bookkeepers, authors, those kinds of people. They're good at what they do. But again, like I don't just shoot videos. I shoot videos, and I think my videos are really good. I animate videos for folks. I take logos and I bring them to life. I did that for you. I love to do it. Am I the world's best at it? No. But that's okay. I mean, it's professional quality. I challenge anybody to look at your logo that I made move and say, "Oh, that doesn't look good." I think it looks great.
Yeah, you can check it out, guys. It's on my page.
Check it out. I love it. Right? I didn't design your logo. You designed your logo, right? Yeah. I love it. So
the best bit was I paid someone to design my logo. They came back with so much crap. I paid them to go away.
Yeah, just leave.
And then I just went, I'll do it myself. And this is because I've obviously had 2 years marketing and I've got some experience. I'm not like great, but I've got some experience. Like my little GIF I was posting, flashing. I was like, yeah, it's the greatest. My little flasher. Yeah. Is not the greatest, but considering I'm not a marketing expert, I'm like, yeah. But then I'm learning from you as well. So I'm that person who watches on. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is the thing that I've learned, right? Like, I look at people like Gary Vee, and I go, there's a lot of things I like about Gary Vee. I look at Simon Sinek, a lot of things I like about Simon Sinek, but I'm not trying to be either of those guys. I'm not trying. I'm trying to be Ira Bowman, and Ira Bowman has warts. Ira Bowman is goofy. Ira Bowman has buck teeth. You know what I mean? Like these things aren't going to change. Like you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be an influencer or whatever, right? I'm not trying to be Bill Gates. I mean, I'm not that I would shy away from, a great idea and a awesome business if I could come up with it. But, the bottom line is I'm comfortable in my zone. I don't meet a lot of other people who are print industry experts because that's honestly, if you ask me what my expertise is, that's what it is because I did it for 20 years, right? I learned a hell of a lot in those 20 years about the print business. So that's, but I'm really good. I have a marketing degree. I have a degree in the Bible. A lot of people don't know that, but I do. So I've actually read that. I've actually read that thing. You know what I mean? Family is super important to me now. My marriage is super important. Like, my wife was teasing me the other day because you girls have it awful. She gets hit on all the time. People don't know you. They're just like, hey, you're beautiful. And she sent me one.
I got called Goddess today. Someone went, Goddess, send me a connection request. And I went, mate, you haven't even got a photo. I'm like.
Yeah. Anyway, so she sent me one. She's like, I want this from you. And I'm like, that guy probably sent that out to 100,000 people. Like that's what doesn't make that special, right? Like that's their cheese. That's their cheese that they serve to everybody. I'm like, I would only send that to my wife. You know what I mean? And so actually yesterday. Yep. I don't know if did you ever watch The Help?
The Help?
Yeah, it's a movie. Came out I think a couple years ago.
I don't really watch TV.
Yeah, it's a movie. It's like during the Martin Luther King era. So it's about civil rights for African Americans here in America. One of the lines in the movie is, "You was kind, you was smart." Anyway, she's she's building her up. And so I say that to my wife sometimes. He was
Okay, I'm gonna look that up afterwards. I'm gonna look.
You have to. It's good. That movie has a pie in it too.
Does it?
I'm just going to tell you the poop emoji is relevant to that pie. We're going to leave it at that. Y'all can figure that out. But that's when I watched that movie the first time and I saw that scene with the pie, I lost it. It is so funny. Wow. Anyway.
I'm never going to give you the pie. That's for sure.
Yeah. So if you call me chocolate pie, I'm gonna think you don't like me very much. I'm just saying.
Okay, I'll hold that thought, and I'm gonna watch it.
You gotta watch that. You gotta watch that scene. You're gonna lose it, Liz. I mean, that's a way to get me to quit eating the snacks. Just say you've got some chocolate pie for me. Like, yeah, good.
God damn.
I don't know that I will ever eat chocolate pie in my life again. I don't know that I will.
Okay, but I will watch this and I will give you my feedback.
Okay. Yeah. Let me know. Let me know. I'm sure. I'm not afraid of anybody watching it because I don't laugh at that. Funny bone is broken if you don't laugh at that. Is what I'm saying.
I was going to say. So what's one bit of advice to leave everyone with?
A couple things. I think we've already touched on some of them, so I'll just recap, right? If you don't like yourself, that's the problem. You need to start right there. Why don't you like yourself? What is it about yourself that you don't like? Take some time to be reflective, look inside yourself, because that's the key to your happiness. You can chase it in the bottle. You can chase it with the pills. You can chase it with sex. You can chase it with your pursuit of power. You can chase it with anything you want. It's never going to fulfill you. You have to figure out what it is about yourself that you don't like. Perhaps it's because you're too busy looking out and comparing yourself to these other people. And I think that's a danger that happens on social media. And that's why we have this thing called imposter syndrome, which is why there's so much phony crap on social media. Don't fall for that. Like, look, I have an Instagram. You've seen it.
Yeah, I'm with it.
I put pictures on it, right? But what you're seeing a lot of times has been photoshopped. Let me tell you that. Right? It's not real. And even if it is real, like I put pictures up last night at like 11:30 on Facebook of a photo shoot I did of my kids earlier in the day. I didn't Photoshop any of those. They're great shots, but you know what those are? I told my kids, if you want to be in this photo shoot, you got to go get dressed up really nice. And then we found the one place in our whole house that has like a bare wall. We have photos and knickknacks. I mean, and what's funny is, okay, it's my fault because I love this stuff. I love art. I love photographs. I'm a graphic designer. That shouldn't be surprising. Right? So my wife would have like the bare minimums on the walls if she could. Like, there'd be a picture every like 3 walls. There'd be one picture. That's my wife.
I love her.
Elegant, classy. My wife is elegant and classy. I should get brownie points for that. All right. Alice, you're elegant and classy. Wait a minute. Your name's Alicia. Oh, that's right. There you go. I'll get it right eventually. Here we go. So, but if you look at those pictures and you see them, you're like, wow, look how cute his kids are. And they're so, you know what I mean? But what you're seeing is that doesn't represent real life. That's the best foot forward. So I think part of why people don't like themselves is because they see the highlights of people and they're judging their everyday life by the highlights that people show. And frankly, half of that I think is phony. People over exaggerate or they flat out lie. They misrepresent because they want this fake it till you make it is shit. And I don't usually swear, especially on video, but there's no other way to say it. Stop it. Don't fake it till you make it. If you really want to get better at something, here's what you do. Buy a book, find the video, ingest the information, practice, get better. You don't fake it. Tell people. And for example, sometimes at Bowman Digital Media, people ask me to do things that I can't really do, but I think I could do it if given the opportunity. For example, somebody asked me about would you be my Amazon like SEO guy?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, in theory,
Yes.
but I've never done it before, so I don't want to misrepresent. And so they said, hey, I actually don't mind that because I know the way your mind works. You A/B test stuff and you have all this experience. I think, and I'm comfortable with you. So let's try it. You know what I mean? And I'm like, perfect. Now I don't have to pretend like I'm an expert at something I'm clearly not an expert at. And if I have some bumps in the road, which by the way, with Ira and Bowman Digital Media, there's always bumps in the road because this life is real, right? Like I don't guarantee like it's the easy. I'll make it as easy for you as possible so you can do your thing, but life is real. Like I won't say, oh, you know what, we're gonna get 5,000 views on this post today because we might not. I can guarantee you I'll get you 5,000 views if that's what you really want, but it might take me 2 or 3 posts. But then again, I might do a post and you get 100,000 views. You know what I mean? I don't guarantee results. I guarantee effort and the strategy that goes into it. That's what I. So, anyways, advice: don't fake it till you make it. Take the time to figure out why you're not happy. If it requires personal development, which it probably will, invest the time in yourself. Look, we get one life. That's it. You get one life. Don't waste it. Don't wake up in 50 years replaying. You've replayed the same miserable life every day over and over and over again. And you die and you're like, what was the point? Don't do that. Instead, figure out what you love. Figure out what you don't like. Pursue what you love while you work on what you don't like. If you do that every single day, at the end of your life, you'll be like, yeah, that was good. And guess what? Other people will probably respect you for it too. So
they will. Well, you and I could keep talking all Friday because I'm sure you've got hundreds and hundreds more stories, and I find them all interesting.
We haven't talked about anything yet. Yeah,
I know. So we'll be here all day. We've been here an hour, and and I better let you get on to work. But how best way to get hold of you? I've linked in your LinkedIn page, your business page, and your website. Which is your best way? All of them.
I mean, the thing I want people to understand is when you send me connection requests, I'm flattered, but I'm at the limit. So I really can't add new connections anymore, but you can follow me and I will follow you back. However, I'll say this, and this is good advice for you for everybody. I'm on more than one social media platform. Find me on Instagram, find me on Twitter, find me on Clubhouse. I have plenty of bandwidth on all those platforms to add new people. So find me there. IraBowman.com is a website that most people don't visit, but they should. It's my coaching site. And on there, I have free videos that you can watch that will help you. It's called 60 Seconds with Bowman Coaching. I give a lot of practical tips there. 60 seconds. Actually, most of the videos are 90 seconds, just in full disclosure. I say 60 seconds and then I gotcha for 90. So there's that. But they're good tips. A lot of them are business, so it crosses all vertical markets, right? But Project Help You Grow is my free philanthropy. We didn't talk about that at all, but I help job seekers around the world for free, but it's also free for recruiters and it's free for employers. So it's free for everybody. And I have jobs in India, in Africa, in Dubai, in Canada, even this little town called London. You heard of that? Some people have. Anyways, so there's jobs all over. Recruiters can go find candidates and hire them. There's no fees. There's no ads. Nothing. It's completely just free. So Project Help You Grow, you can find me. I have a profile there too. There also is a new thing. If you've heard of Linktree, which is cool, I know you know about this. There's also Social Tap, which is the word social without an L. I have a Social Tap that has a connection to. You want to find me everywhere? Social Tap. It's all there. So
just like that.
BowmanDigitalMedia.com.
Well, Ira, thank you so much for your time this morning and your stories. And we're going to work on these snacks because, lying on that jar.
One bite at a time, Liz. One bite at a time.
Yeah, it's not a mouthful. Okay. And
okay, hey, I want to pat on the back. Yesterday, I did not eat one single snack. Not even one. I didn't.
Good lad.
I stared at these all day. Didn't eat it, and I didn't have any pretzels. Yeah, that was good.
Now keep that up.
Yeah. Can I go for 2? That's actually one thing, when you're working on this, like if you're don't look at people like Liz who are in shape, or people like buff guy, whatever, Roman Reigns or whoever.
I still eat chocolate.
These guys that are buff, when you're fat like me, don't look at them, because that will demotivate you. What I want you to do, take a picture of yourself, right? Don't share it with anybody. Just take a picture of yourself, write the date on it, do what you got to do to be good, and then periodically take another picture of yourself, and then compare that. It'll help you out.
There you go. There's a nice tidbit. So anyway, thank you so much for your time. Good morning and happy Friday to you, and thank you to all those who have joined us. Have a great weekend.
See y'all later.